All right, welcome to the shit show. I went pretty hard there. Oh yeah. Anyway, tonight's cigar is from Blackbird Cigars, Blackbird Cigar Company, and this is a Crow, which is very fitting because we have a guest. I have a co-host tonight, who's not actually a crow. I guess it would be an insult, but it's a raven. Yeah, let me see if you can you see him?
Beware! No one goes there!
All right. So let me clip this monkey off and torch it up, and then we'll chop it up. Jesus. There we go. Now we got something cooking. Now that's burning. All right. I got my royalty-free music on in the background. I have it turned down. Some people think it's a little loud, so I turned it down so you can hear me. Although I don't have shit to say, usually. Anyway, not today, not tonight, not on these shit shows. So what's going on? How you all been? How was work this week for those of you who, like me, are amongst the poor working class stiffs of this world? How was the work week? How was the weather? Today was a gorgeous day. This is actually my favorite time of the year for riding. It's just, what the fuck is this trying to tell me now? Wait, it's always something. What the fuck is going on? In the fuck shit? What is that? Battery. It's plugged in. All right, I'm back. I got to tell you, this cigar, this Blackbird Cigar Company, Crow, it's a good cigar. And I don't remember precisely what I paid for this cigar, but it was not an expensive cigar as far as cigars go. It was not expensive. It's a winner in my book. It's a winner. I'll tell you another one. It had that Fat Bottom Betty. This whole, let me show you. I don't know if you saw, I guess you saw that one in another video, right? No, you didn't. I smoked Sweet Jane in that one, but same company. This is Fat Bottom Betty, I think, right? Yeah. These cigars are really, really good. And they're another slew of cigars that are not terribly expensive, really good. However, these cigars, I showed you these in another video, but I don't think I posted the video yet. These things are called Asylum 13s. It says Friday the 13th on the box. You get 5 in a pack. It's like $30 for 5 of them. And they're not good. They're not good. Now I got something flashing again. What the hell's going on with this freaking camera, man? What the hell is going on with this camera? Four minutes. How do I have 4 minutes left? I'm going to let it run because I can't believe that. The battery's fully charged. I have plenty of room on the card. So I don't know what in the fuck it's trying to talk about. 4 minutes. 4 minutes what? It's flashing like it's going to go off though, but I don't know what the story is. Maybe the card's corrupted. I don't know. But we're going to let it roll. Let it roll, for Christ's sake. Hopefully this music's not too loud. So, Saturday night shit show. I tell you, I got this bird in his cage, and the bones that are in the bottom of this bird cage look like this bird's been eating chicken. I don't know who the sadistic bastard was that was feeding this bird chicken, but no account for taste. If the bird likes it, there's an ass for every seat, and that's what the bird likes, whatever, right? All right, so what's been going on? Well, weather's getting nicer. It's my favorite time of year to ride. I love riding in this weather. It gets nice and cool. And I've always liked riding in the rural areas. Today I was riding and I loved it when you got the corn on both sides of the road and blasting down a nice straight, smooth stretch, well, relatively smooth stretch of road. Rode over to the gym. It was awesome. Had a killer workout. And that's another thing. And I've said this before too. I don't know if people pay any attention to any fucking thing I say or not, but or if it even has any relevance to anybody but me. Maybe it's just all in my head. But a lot of times you see me in the gym that now lately I'm lifting heavier than I have in a long time. And that's what it's, you kind of push things to that line. That's where, that's what separates extreme success from total destruction. Is you get up as close as you can to that line, where if you cross that line, something's coming apart, something's getting damaged, you're going to get hurt, it's not going to be good. But you have to have the experience to know where that line lies, and that's the level of intensity for me that I need to get the results that I'm after, especially right this minute, right now. I can't see nothing but a blur, so I don't even know if I still look decent or not, but imagine I look fairly vascular. But, so I have been going pretty heavy lately, going very heavy. But if you don't see my opening exercise or two, well, actually today I did chest, and I think like the first 3 or 4 exercises I went pretty freaking heavy. Pretty heavy. Then I did triceps behind that, and I went heavy with that. And of course, my favorite overall mass builder for triceps is overhead heavy single dumbbell presses. You know, you grab the dumbbell like a pyramid around one of the heads of the dumbbell, you throw it behind your head, right, elbows up. Extend your arms up, press it up. I like that with a heavy dumbbell. I like that as my opening tricep exercise after I've already gone through my whole chest workout, because triceps should be pretty damn warmed up. I still won't go with my heaviest set first. I'll go with maybe, today I think I started with a 70-pound dumbbell and did like 25 reps, and then moved to like 85, then moved to 110. And I didn't go any heavier than that because everything was already pre-fatigued, shoulders already pre-fatigued. You know, some of the stuff that I incorporate with chest purposely brings in a lot of shoulder stuff, especially the last exercise or two. Anyway, point is, if you were to walk into the gym and I was halfway through my workout and you saw me, what I was doing, you would think, some more foo-foo bodybuilding shit. You know, big as that guy is, that's all the stronger he is. But if you really look at what I'm doing, once I get into these isolation movements, the ability you have to isolate, and you guys on here that have more experience, that have been doing this a while, you know this is true. The better your connection with that muscle, the more muscle that is available to you, and you have better access to that muscle, meaning that you can activate specific heads of that muscle. And because that's how well or how connected you are with your body, with your physique. And that just comes through years and time and experience, training. All right, let's see if this works now. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so what I was saying, I don't even know where I was at, but I know where I am. I'm kidding, of course. Some people don't believe that. Oh, he's so fucked up, I don't know where he is. I'm too old. There's no condition exists where I'm that fucked up anymore. It just doesn't, can't do it. Anyway, I don't know. Half the shit that I say, I think a lot of people don't listen to it, or they just think that, I don't know. I think that today most people just are so convinced that it's like a default thing. You know, it's like the wolf that jumped in. I don't know why it's a wolf, right? It's not my story. That saw some grapes and he jumped up to try to get the grapes. He couldn't reach them. And because he couldn't easily acquire the grapes, he decided the grapes must be sour anyway. right? What's that, one of Aesop's fables or something? I don't know. You guys know better than me. But a lot of people today, they default to the mode where they say that nobody tells you the truth, everybody lies, everybody that's got all this muscle or big, full of shit, that that it's all about what you take. It's all about what you take. And come on, man. Come on. Surely by now, especially in modern times now, with all the Insta famous, all the nuttiness and every other fucking thing, and how desperate people are for attention. And there are a whole slew of guys out there with fragile egos, fragile self-esteems, that if that were true, they'd be massive. Because they would damn sure take whatever they had to take, if that's all it was about. But a large amount of it's about genetics. A lot of it's about genetics in every regard. And aside from that, work ethic comes into play, and fucking consistency, for God's sake. It's like anything else you want to be successful at. It's consistency, man. It's consistency. Doing what you need to do every time, every day. And with this, it's every day. It's every day, man. It's not, that part's not easy. You know? I'm not saying it's the hardest thing in the world to do, or that you're the equivalent of somebody researching a cure for cancer because you can do it. Just saying, you know, it really takes commitment, and you just have to want to do it, you know? But it's like everything else, it's the same thing I see. This is why we're losing tradesmen. This is why we're losing tradesmen, as these old guys, I'm one of them, but as we older guys are retiring, dying, leaving the workforce, there's huge shortage on craftsmen and tradesmen. Huge shortage. Because people of today, not everybody, there are outliers everywhere. There are some hard, young motherfuckers out there, males and females, that will go get it and are about it and will go hard at whatever it takes they're trying to acquire. They'll go for it. They will study, they will train, they will learn, they'll put their time in, you know, they will seriously knuckle down and acquire the skills to pay the bills if that's what they're after. But the majority today, especially in the US, this is where I live, this is what I see. You know, as the older guys leave the workforce, for whatever reason, pass away, retire, whatever the hell, they're not being replaced. You know, there's a shortage. For the past 20 years or better, there's been a shortage of like 1,000 plus less technicians in my trade every year. Every year. For over 20 years now. And now you're really seeing it now, what the result of that is, you know? Because people don't want to pay their dues. They want to come out there and they want to make the money right this minute. They don't want to put the time in and serve an apprenticeship. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want to get there and they want to make the money right now. And in a lot of these fields, like my field, I mean, you know, you need the tools, you need the equipment, all your own personal shit that costs money. So how you gonna get the money to buy the tools and shit? Well, working, you know, working. And you're not gonna make much money until you have the skills. How do you acquire the skills? Training and working on the job, you know, experience, just in the doing of it. Not the reading about it, the talking about it, the doing of it. And sadly, nowadays, the majority of people, they don't want to do that. They want it now. They want instant gratification. They don't want to, you know. It goes hand in hand with that whole mindset, where so many today, they want to diminish to equalize. They look at somebody or something that they can't get, that they want. If they didn't want it, they wouldn't pay attention to it. They want it, and they can't have it, so they have to tear down whoever does have it. Whoever has already gone there and acquired it, paid their dues and gotten it, you know, something in them is broken. And rather than look within and fix that so they can go on and live a happy, fulfilling life, it's better just to deflect, you know, and like that wolf that couldn't reach the grapes, it must be sour anyway, you know, rather than try, simple 3-letter word, rather than do that, you know, they default to tearing something down. They want to pull others down and put other people down, diminish everything about everybody else to bring them down to their level. They diminish to equalize rather than elevate themselves. You know, you want to be eye to eye with somebody, you know, or sit on the same platform with them or be on the same level with them, whatever it might be. You know, the old school way is you ask questions, you watch, you study, you'll acquire the knowledge, the experience, the skill, and you're going to get there too. But, you know, it's not like it can't be done. People have been doing it forever, but sad state of affairs, man, sad state of affairs. So we're losing our craftsmen, we're losing our tradesmen. They're not being replaced in the numbers they need to be. And when you talk about just like a microcosm of life, when you look at something like it's build muscle, you know, who would think that that would cause so much drama? There'd be so much to talk about and talk shit about so many people just because somebody decides that's something that they want to do. And they do it. They set out to do it and they do it, you know. And so others are just going to try and pull them down because they want it and they can't do it because they're in their bent and broken psyche. They look at it and they think it's, I don't know what they think, but they give it more weight, you know, than it really deserves, right? So you can eat some food, so you can go to the gym when you need to go, so you can drink all the water you need to drink, you know, so you can train hard, so you can do that repeatedly, umpteen thousands and thousands, million times until you get to where you want to get to. You know what I mean? So, you know, hey, congratulations, but it's not like it's the loftiest goal in the world. But that's how broken people are in the world today. It's how broken people are in our society, man. That it's easier to sling shit, you know, than it is to give somebody the nod. It's easier to sling shit. Do you know how many people that I could come on here and just get who knows how many views by just talking about some of the shit that I know about motherfuckers that are so well known. Some of the shit that I know about these fuckers, you know? And I've known for forever when I moved in those circles. I mean, it's a long time ago, but some of these people are still around. Some of these people, they don't have anywhere else to go. And, you know, they've been on the covers of magazines. They're all over the place. They're idols to others, to a lot of people. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And, man, you know, I could tell some fucking crazy shit. Some crazy, messed up stuff. But what good would that do? You know, to what end? What purpose would it serve? You know. So, you know, the busters, they can hate what they want to hate. They can say what they want to say. They can hate what they want to hate and who they want to hate for whatever. You know, there's enough hate, man. There's enough hate. That's how we got here. There's enough hate. But I'll never do that. I'll never do it. Yeah, once in a while I have said a few things about people, but that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what's out there and what there is to say. But like, you know, again, you know, what does it serve? So you would draw a lot of attention and get a lot of views. What kind of people would you draw? Kindreds? I don't want to be one in that crowd. You know what I mean? I want to have that in common with people. Nope. I've always said, man, it's easier to make an enemy than to make a friend. You know, I've said it before. If that was the goal in life, to be successful, to go out and be the biggest asshole you could be, and make as many enemies as you could, fuck, wouldn't that be easy? Because negativity sells, man. That shit sells itself. You know, the guy that burns down the barn becomes more infamous than the guy that carries out the lambs to safety becomes famous. Nobody remembers that dude's name. But the guy set the barn on fire and burned it down, everybody knows who that was. This is the society we live in. This is the society we live in, dude. Yeah, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. This is not the society I grew up within. It's not. It's not. I think from my time here on this earth, damn near 60 years, it'll be 60 years this upcoming year. It's not the country I grew up in. It's not the same society I grew up in. And, you know, it's run its course as far as I'm concerned. I'm good, man. My life's been good. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. Made some wrong decisions, made some good decisions. And when it ends, man. You know? The things I really needed to do, I've done. So, but I guess that mentality, man, we're all dinosaurs now, all of us. We're, you know, we're something that people don't understand now, you know, in this insta-famous world. It's sad, very sad. And it's sad that this is finished because this was a damn good cigar. Damn good cigar. No bullshit. I'll buy those again. That was good. That was good. Nothing is worse than buying an expensive cigar that tastes like shit. You know, because then it's like, what are you going to be like, Emperor's New Clothes? Like some cigar aficionado, oh, this cigar is very good. It cost me, blah, blah. No. You know, I got fucked. I made a bad decision. I gambled and this cigar tastes like shit. But this, inexpensive, again, it was this Crow by Blackbird Cigar Company. It's awesome, man. Awesome cigar. Like I said, at Fat Bottom Betty, I know that's going to be good because I had another cigar by the same company, which was called Sweet Jane, and that was delicious. And you know, I smoked the C-Notes, the little acid cigars by Drew Estates. They're freaking delicious. So, how does that jive with all of this, right? What? You're smoking, putting that shit in your body, drinking fucking blackjack. What the hell is this? Blackjack cola? You know? Yeah, I fucking am. I am. I'm unwinding and relaxing. Did what I needed to do all week. It's time to chill for me. If that's not, you know, if that's not in your repertoire, if that's not how you roll, if that's verboten shit to you, hey, you know, to each their own. Congratulations. Pursue your happiness and I'll pursue mine. I don't overdo it. Right? What do you think about that? Do I overdo it? Yeah, let's see. Let's consult. Let's consult the Raven or the Crow. I guess is he a crow? I guess he's a crow. I don't know what the hell he is. Raven?
Turn back! There's danger ahead!
Always a naysayer. It's one in every crowd at least. Always a naysayer. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. There's nothing, well, you know, like I just said, man, everything, Everything that's just interesting to talk about is negative shit. I gotta take a piss. And then let's switch gears and talk about some of the craziness in the world. You know, nobody in particular. Well, maybe not anybody in particular. Well, I take that back. Maybe it will be somebody in particular. I'll be right back. All right, so let's talk about this influenza. I'm not trying to make light of it. Listen, it's a dangerous thing for people. For some people, it's a very dangerous thing. I don't doubt that. Don't doubt it. But what I'm saying is people are so panicking. This is another thing. I can't speak about, what's going on over in Great Britain or whatever, because I would imagine we're similar, but I'm here. So I can speak here about what's going on here, what I see. And when did we get so fucking soft? I think it's by design. I think it's by design, programming. It's part of the program. When did we get so fucking soft, man? Yeah, it's people have loved ones that are not the healthiest. And, this thing can be a threat to them. But as far as the knee-jerk reaction and all the emotional, all the emotions, they get wrapped up in it and they trigger those emotions. They play with those emotions. That's how they, you can't say they don't, man. Look, we just found out of these calls recently, and this has happened many times. It's not just with the current president. But we have these calls that have been revealed now where the president is literally scheming, conspiring with another leader of state to come up with a narrative. Because he has to change the narrative. He has to change people's perspective. They have to change their they have to change what people see and what they believe, because what they think they see, what you can get them to believe, that's their reality. And he says in part of the call transcripts, he has to change the storyline, so that it sounds like we're doing a better job over there, or we're having a lot more luck over there, or that things are better over there than they appear. And he literally, paraphrasing, he said, literally he did say, whether it's true or not. So that's what it's not just him. It's not only this guy, this current guy, it's umpteen times in my life, this shit's come out. But the shit that our elected officials have done behind our backs before and lied about. Horrible, horrible shit to people. Horrible shit. Look at when they were injecting syphilis into black servicemen. Remember that shit? You don't? You need to fucking Google. These are the people you trust? You believe what they tell you now? When did they turn over the new leaf? They didn't. They didn't. That's how rulers rule. That's how rulers rule. It's sad, but that's why we have a constitution. That's why, we have a lot of the rights that we have. The right to keep and bear. That's with the intent that there shouldn't come a time when the government is too powerful for its own people, that it serves, not that it rules. It's supposed to be a self-governing nation. You think that we're a self-governing nation? Yeah. It's sad. But where people get things sideways is, it's not the flag's fault. It's not America the ideal. It's not the structure, the format, the blueprint, it may not have begun initially. It had some serious fatal flaws, but those things have been amended over many decades. And we've tried, as a nation, we've tried to make it right, make it whole. There's been a lot of bloodshed. There's been a lot of really good people with the best of intentions. And it's not the flag. You know what I mean? So when people talk about America, it's never been great. What kind of ridiculous, uneducated bullshit is that? America's never been great? America saved the world. Maybe you weren't alive, you had relatives that were. America saved the entire world, right? But can we save ourselves now? Don't know. Don't know what that even looks like or what that would take. But like I said, I'm near the end of it. You know, I'm just grateful that I'm not young today, growing up in this, having it come from you from all directions, all this propaganda, all this disinformation and misinformation, and just flat out bullshit. You know, and I guess it's easier than ever now because you can't. It permeates everything. It comes into your house through the internet and social media. And have you ever seen the news outlets? These are the people that you trust. You trust these people. You would believe what they tell you. Have you ever seen the videos people put together where they'll have a narrative and it'll show one broadcaster, one news broadcaster, and he'll state an entire phrase, then it'll show another and another and another, and before you know it, the whole screen's littered, with like 20 different news stations all over the country, and they all say exactly word for word, verbatim, the same thing. The same verbiage, the same everything. You think they're not fed that? Come on, man. Come on, dude. Used to be a game in school, right? In grade school, maybe you played it or whatever, a social experiment, where the teacher would whisper something to you, and you would whisper to the next person who would go all the way around the room. And how many people are in the classroom? And by the time you got to the last person and they recited what this secret was, it was completely changed. So what do you think the odds are that you can have the screen broken up into 20, 30 different newscasters, and that they all are using the same identical verbiage, literally word for word, like a script? You haven't seen these videos? Please. But there are people out there that, oh my God, they believe everything. Listen, this thing is a different thing. This influenza is a different kind of influenza. Okay? You're not going to take and it's going to be all better. It's going to be all better. For one thing, one of the major drug companies, Pfizer, dare I even say the name. You know what their claim to fame was, where they made like the majority of their money in the past decade from? Erection drugs. Erectile dysfunction treatment, right? And then how many years is it, 20 years or whatever? 20 or 25, I think it's 20. Could be wrong, I'm just off the top of my head here. I'm not sitting here Googling and trying to just regurgitate information that you can read yourself. It's been it's like 20 years and the patent expires. And when the patent expires on a drug, that's when you get all the generics and every other thing. So they lost their ass when that happened. Now, as they release their fiscal records, their financial records, you ever had like an inclination maybe to see what that looks like? You know, these things are out there. This stuff's not secret. This shit is reported. This stuff's out there. And you can access that very easily. They've made, off of this, they've made ridiculous money. Like obscene money. You don't think, you know what lobbyists are, right? You know what special interest groups are, right? Do you? Or you don't believe any, you think it's all conspiracy shit? You think there's no such thing? Well, factually, it is a thing. It is a thing. These companies set aside tons of money every year just to push their agenda and to try to get behind candidates that are going to take up their agenda, that are going to look out for them. They are major players in our electoral process. You know, wake the fuck up. Wake up. You're not going to get rid of this. You know, now this past week you had at least 2 high-level people in the FDA resign. Well, what else happened? Well, the current administration's pushing these boosters already, talking about this shit. And the FDA absolutely has not approved this shit. So you just had 2 big wigs resign. You know, there's a saying, I'm not going to see where it comes from, but a lot of you brothers out there know where it comes from. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. You know, so you're only going to keep these kind of secrets. They're not difficult to see through. They're not difficult to investigate. It's not difficult to see. You know, we're not going to really know. You think I know the truth? No, fuck no. How the hell am I going to know? We're not going to know. We're not privy to this. You don't know, and I don't know. But we can look at the big picture based on our life experiences and just our social, you know, experience dealing with other human beings. And just see, hopefully, through some of the bullshit. And you're not going to get rid of this thing with there's not going to be a magic bullet for it. It's not. You know. I mean, for a lot of reasons, which I'm not privy to, but I do know what's been said is because it has an animal component involved in it, it has a lot more opportunity, certain words I'm trying not to use, to mutate. So now there's another one. It's called, what is it called? MU, which is supposedly now they're saying this is resistant. As if the current one's not, the first one's not. All these people vaccinated. Look at Israel. Most vaccinated country in the world, most vaccinated nation in the world, Israel. Okay, and if you look, yeah, they had this thing really down low, and then as soon as they opened schools back up, boom! Now it's running through them like Grant took Richmond, and but everybody's had the so how can that be, right? If it's the be-all, end-all. There's no, like I said, it's all part and parcel of the world we live in today. Everybody wants that instant gratification. Everybody thinks that there's a fucking solution for everything and it's all black and white and cut and dry. And you can just take a pill, right? It's not true. Sorry. Don't get pissed off at me. Think about it for yourself. Think about it for yourself. Do you think it's true? You know, these masks. I did some tests on some masks. I started a video and I thought, this is going too far. They're not gonna like that. I'm sure they wouldn't. But this thing, because of the microns, the size of the particles, right, that it travels on, when you exhale aerosol, which these are very small, most masks They're already too large. And the biggest of the aerosol particles can still pass through. Now, what you can do is, like when you take a pair of glasses like this, right, and you go, and you see how that fogs up? See that? See that shit? That's aerosol. That's aerosol. On a cold day, when you breathe out and you see your breath, that's aerosol. That's the method of transmission. Now put one of your masks on, whatever your mask of choice is, and pick up a pair of glasses and do that. You're going to be fucking shocked. And then you're still not going to believe it. It's going to fog up the same way. That aerosol's going straight through there. It's going straight through there. That humidity is going straight through there. I tried it. I saw a video of a doctor doing it. He had 5 fucking masks on. 5. He could barely get them all on his head. And they looked like something off Hellraiser. He had so much shit cutting into him, rubber bands and shit. And it still came through. There's the actual sanctified, certified mask that you're supposed to use. What this shit is called, the filter you're supposed to have. You know what I'm talking about. It's on, I know what it is too. I can't think of it right this minute because I'm drinking these delicious. It's only 4% alcohol. But it's blackjack colas. I blame them. Anyway, if you're using one of those, okay, but how many people you see, they got a bandana on, they have just a regular disposable masks on. I have a box of them in the house. They ain't doing shit. They ain't doing shit. But you'll see people wearing them. I see people driving their car, nobody in the car, they're in there by themselves and they're wearing it. As if it's got wings and it's just flying around and it's going to come through your HEPA filter, which it could probably, I guess, but how's it going to get in the car? Anyway, like it's just out in the air, and the air that's coming into the car, maybe it'll do something to your engine. Your engine's breathing this shit too. What are you going to do about that? That air filter's not stopping it. Anyway, the cabin air filter, the HEPA filter, it's known as a HEPA filter. I don't know how many microns. I don't know if it can pass through that or not. I haven't tried that. I doubt it, to be honest. But as if that's how prevalent this shit is, that it's so much in the air that just driving in your car with the windows up, you need to have a mask on. I mean, people are, when did we become this fucking frightened? I understand, but make sure you have the right mask on. Now I'll show you what, I have this mask. I'll show you something and tell you what. I have this mask. This one. And I tried it with this mask, and this mask, watch this. Look like Bane. Watch. Nothing. Maybe. No, not really. Nothing. But then we have the little, where's the thing at right there? Let's try that. Not really. Not really. So, it's difficult to breathe with this on, but this mask appears to work. It has a changeable filter inside of here. Anyway, this looks like it works. If you're that frightened and anxious, have that much anxiety about it, that works. But that's all I'm saying. Listen, I'm not trying, especially YouTube, listen. I'm not trying to say that there's no mask out there that can help. That mask works. What I'm saying to you is test your mask. Whatever you're wearing as a mask, if you're that worried, if you're that upset, if you're that frightened of this thing, test your mask. Get a pair of glasses, whatever, test your mask. See if you can breathe through it and fog those glasses up. If you can, that ain't doing you no good. But I guess it's a moot point, to be honest, because then you have this variant. I'm not going to say the name of it, because it's probably got certain words are going to trigger some kind of flag or something that they're going to zoom in on this shit. And be like, oh, Christ, you can't talk about that. But they've been very good so far. I'll give them credit. The variant is supposed to be worse. The people are still getting it. Now you have this new thing called the MU. If you're really that scared, look that thing up. And it's already in the U.S. And this is factual shit. I'm not saying a bunch of fucking conspiracy shit off the top of my head and making up. And it's supposed to be, they're coming straight out. And they're not pulling punches. They're already declared this thing is, they believe that this thing is resistant. As if the first one's not. People are still getting it. So clearly it is. Anyway. And I'm not saying, we just recently, John Meadows passed away, a slew of people passed away, but John Meadows had health issues with blood clots a year or so ago, right? He got the right? And the blood clot that just took his life was in his lungs. What the hell they call it? They call it I'm losing my marbles because I'm not inebriated, but I'm comfy. I'm not thinking too hard. But that's the same kind of blood clot. One that has been attributed to this. Am I telling you that caused it? No, absolutely not. I'm not saying it, because how the fuck do I know? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you are already susceptible to something like blood clots, you've already had a problem with it, maybe if there are people from the medical community with heavily credentialed have come out and tried to sound the alarm and say, listen, this thing can cause this. We've seen this, we're seeing it. Blood clot in the lungs. Maybe if you're susceptible to blood clots and have already had a problem with it, maybe you might want to rethink. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you don't want to rethink. Maybe you don't want to rethink. Now, somebody will come out and say, oh, he said that John Meadows, that he died because of the, No, that's not what I said. It's not what I said. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. How would we know? How would we know? All I'm saying is, if you think, and I don't care if you consider yourself a Democrat, you consider yourself a Republican, an independent, or some other thing, socialist, I don't care what you consider, what you think you are. I don't think you really know much about socialism if you haven't lived under a socialist regime. But interestingly, everybody that I know that has come from a country that had socialism, they don't want it. So that's kind of interesting that people here, so many people here think it's the thing to have. And then so many people that come from countries, escape countries and flee here to the United States and gain citizenship, that's the last thing they want. I wonder why, if it was so great. And that's not to say that we already don't have some elements of socialism in our society. We always have. We have public this, public that, So, which I'm not against. Just pointing it out, Anyway, who knows what tomorrow holds. I'm just saying, be careful. The decisions that you make concerning yourself, you may very well live or die by those decisions. So, but as far as, that's that's divide and conquer. How many times have our rulers clearly shown their hand that they're really skilled at that shit, divide and conquer, man. Keeping us all mixed up and just in a ball of confusion, fighting amongst ourselves, blaming each other, because if we continue to just blame each other, well, it's his fault, well, it's their fault, it's her fault, it's these people, or it's them. As long as we keep doing that, then we can never get together as all the same crabs stewing in the same pot, trying to pull each other down as soon as one tries to climb out. We can't come together and look at them and say, wait a minute, Those sons of bitches are the problem. It's less likely that'll happen if they can keep us divided. And so they do that, man. They do that. They do that. It was our rulers, wasn't it, the three-letter agency, which I will not name, but you can figure it out. You probably already know, a lot of you people already know, I'm sure, that we're selling drugs in these urban, downtrodden, economically compromised communities, so they could finance off the books types of ventures. That's reality. That's our government. That's our government. But you know what? Our government is supposed to not be our government. It's supposed to be us. You know. But again, there's knee-jerk reaction, emotions, the way that they play off of things. We continue to vote in these fucking people. We continue to vote in. I'm not saying that they're all fucking bullshit. I'm saying that some of these people that we vote in, man. I know some communities, they just get fucked in the ass every time they put anybody in there. Money missing, funds misallocated, and it just continually happens. And then what do? They still vote along the same line, and they put the next son of a bitch in, and they fuck them again. You know? So they're experts at this shit. They're experts, but the only hope we really have is that we can all come together as just human beings under the same flag here and wherever else you are. You know, I mean, God can't wish for that we would come together across the whole planet, because that's, you know, that's a fairy tale fantasy, isn't it? It would be great, but you know, it'd be a hell of a challenge for us to even come together here in this country, in the United States. But if we could come together and put our heads together, then we could solve some problems. Then we could look at it and say, you know what? We got to do something different. We have to elect some different people into this fucking thing. We have to elect some of us, smartest amongst us. You know, but it's always been that way. Democracy, we have a representational democracy, but I've always believed that a real, genuine democracy only really works well when you have a limited number of people. You know, if we have, you know, if we have 13 people in this room, and we say, okay, what do we want to have for lunch? Subs, or do we want to get chicken, or do we want to just order pizza? Well, if everybody's divided, let's have a vote. We have a vote, majority rules, and we get whichever. And everybody agrees that's fair. Let's do that. Then cool. Then it works. Then you have a real democracy. But when it gets this large, it's extrapolated out to these kinds of numbers. You know, and people running for public office now, the person with the best ideas, really, the person with the best ideas and the best intent, we're never going to know who that person is. That's some voice that's lost in the wilderness. You're never going to hear that person's voice. You're never going to know that person's name. It's already sorted out. It's already, people are already in line. You're going to see whatever families and whatever they're going to put out there. Once in a while, a stray comes along and manages somehow to get through the cracks. But they know how to stamp that shit out. You know, it's a closed game. But, you know, is what it is. I'm not talking conspiracy. I'm talking just reality. It's what the reality is. It's what the reality is. So, you know, have some kind of a huge, horrible thing like what we're going through now, what we've been going through the past 2 years or so. You know, I know that people are desperate. I know that people are frightened and afraid. You know, but, and I don't know what the solution is. I don't know who you should turn to, but I'll tell you what. Take it with a grain of salt when it comes from our government and your elected officials. Some of the shit that they say and the things that they're telling you, maybe think, what aren't they telling me? You know, do you think they're telling you everything there is to know? Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? But then they're still not, they're not even going to do that. And even some that might have good intentions aren't going to do that. Just because it might cause some kind of public fucking panic. You know? So who the hell knows? I don't even know how we got on this topic. I don't know. What do you think?
Do you dare come closer?
I think it might be time to call it a night. What do you think?
Don't be afraid. People say I'm crazy.
There you go. Words to live by. Don't be afraid. People say I'm crazy. Whatever the fuck all that means, right? Anyway, the music stopped. It's time to put this thing to rest for the night, I think. Again, the shit show lives up to its name. Next week, special guests on the shit show. Yes, I shit you not. I shit you not. Meanwhile, maybe I get in the gym tomorrow with some film, some video in the gym. I'm in the process. I'm going to work something out. We can get some video stuff going. And I'll tell you what, I have quite a few people that are interested, and I would really love to share with you guys. But I hate to expose people to the fucking busters, man, on the internet. You know, who needs that? Nobody needs that in their life. Who's missing that from their life and feels at a loss that they want to come on and show what they do in the gym, and also they can be ridiculed or picked apart, or especially females, right? Especially females. You have no idea the resources at my disposal, the people that I know that are just incredible athletes, young people, and just very knowledgeable. In fact, that's one thing I will say. There's, at least around here, I don't know, maybe it's the same everywhere, there are a lot of young people that really, really are training their asses off. They really are. I gotta give credit where credit's due. A lot of young people around here training their fucking asses off. And I'll tell you another thing. The young ladies around these parts, I see so many young ladies that are in the gym that are training their fucking asses off. They train hard, man. That it makes me reflect and think, Jesus Christ, if I were 19 again, or 20 or 21 or whatever, 22, fuck, I'd be intimidated in this crowd, you know, to even approach a female, because some of these girls are in such incredible condition. It's just unbelievable, you know. But alas, alack, you know where that's from? Dr. Smith, Lost in Space. Yeah, I know nobody remembers that shit, right? I'm an old man. But alas, alack, if you bring them on with all good intentions and expose them to your people and your audience, which is awesome, have a great audience, you're going to have some piece of shit fucking buster, some broken soul that has to say something negative or crude, or, you know. Such is life, unfortunately. Isn't that pathetic? When you think about it, I've said this before, and then I'll get off of here, let y'all get some rest. And I'll get some. For the first time since humanity's inception, you have the opportunity through the World Wide Web to be able to sit down in front of a computer, make a video, throw it out there, or type something, say something, make a statement, present something of yourself. Hit a button, just hit send, you know, or upload it. And for the first time ever, the possibility exists that it can be seen damn near instantaneously by the entire world, by the rest of the world, potentially. Millions of people, potentially. The rest of the world, all over the place. You have that opportunity. So now they point the microphone at you and say, so now, what do you have to say or share? And some of this crap, this garbage, is what these pieces of shit have to say or share. It has to make you wonder and think to yourself, how fucked up is that person? For the first time, you have the opportunity, to set something out there that could potentially be out there forever and ever. And you have exposure that your little voice, your little wee voice, your opinion, your thoughts, have the chance to be seen, read, shared worldwide. Worldwide. And that's the best you got. That's all you have. Is some fucking negative, bullshit, fabricated, slanderous, just garbage, just hateful. That's how you present yourself. That's what you're about. That says a fucking lot. That says a lot. It's hard to even hate somebody like that because you have to pity him. You have to pity him, man. How fucking busted up is that person inside? How much happiness do they derive on a daily basis? What is their life like? God only knows, because I wouldn't be able to carry it. I wouldn't want to know. So with that, I'm grateful that you guys are out there. I'm very appreciative of the crowd that we have here. A lot of awesome people out there, man. Keep getting up, keep getting it. Never say die, never quit. Keep pushing, keep going after it, man. Keep doing what you need to do, what's keeping you going. And be grateful. And sometimes we forget, sometimes people forget, sometimes people get lackadaisical, and things get away from you. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to do right and to maintain than it is to come from behind and try to fix something once you shatter it to hell and back. So be grateful, be happy, be thankful, love those around you, and let them know you care.